Welcome to our interactive event, Discover the 12 Blessings. Thank you for investing your precious time and energy to learn about a real, true, divine wonder that has positively transformed so many people's lives, and we know that it can do the same for you too. My name is Ayub Malik. I am a yoga breathwork instructor, energy healer, and minister in the Aetherius Society. I also founded an active online community called Awakening Through King Yoga, which has now got more than 1,000 group members, and through which we run regular, empowering spiritual activities, all for free. Now, our intention for this session, for this 1-hour event, is to have you feeling more peaceful, more spiritually connected to something greater than yourselves. And I will also be sharing a beautiful, inspiring, true story of how the 12 blessings came to be blessed by the Master Jesus. Then we will explore some of the empowering meaning of the prayers from the 12 blessings as well. We're going to deconstruct some of those, after which we will then move into a guided practice of the 12 blessings. Then at the end of that practice session, we will tune into the vibrations of the Master Jesus by listening to a very short 2-minute audio extract from the 12 blessings. And at the end, there will be time for sharing experiences and answering any questions if you have any. Now, is there anyone here who does not know what the 12 blessings are? So I just want to get a feel for, just let me know in the comments field. Okay, so everyone seems to be pretty au fait with the 12 blessings, which is good. It also saves me 3 minutes. So let's move on to the next segment then. Which is sharing this fantastic story, this remarkable story about the mother of Dr. George King, called Mary King, who had a fantastic UFO and spiritual encounter where she met the Master Jesus, and where the 12 blessings were blessed by him direct. So now I'm going to invite Jack to share some PowerPoint slides to go with this story, which I will read out to you all. We've got some visuals to accompany it. Okay, so this story is actually journaled in Cosmic Voice Volume 5, which you can purchase online if you want to get the full story. I can only give you, it's quite a long article. It's well worth getting if you want to read that story and understand the different aspects of it. But I'm going to share a few short snippets of Mary King's own words of her experience. The article title is called My Journey in a Flying Saucer. This is Monday, midday. I had my terrific experience last night at 12:30 midnight, January 19th, 1959. And I got back home at 3:40 in the morning. I cannot find words to explain what I experienced, what I saw, what I heard. There are no words in the English language which can do justice to it. I knew it was to be something terrific when I kept my appointment, but I never dreamed of what was going to happen. Our clocks were a little fast, so I had to wait a few moments, but practically dead on time they came. It was not quite the same craft as I had been in before. If anything, it was a trifle larger. At least I think so. Almost immediately, the door was opened, and I was taken in. This time, the captain himself met me. He greeted me so cordially, so affably, as though he was my dearest brother, even more so. He took me into a room along a corridor to what was his room in the last craft I had been in. This still appeared to be the captain's room, but it was different. It was larger, and it had furnishings consisting of a table which was fixed to the wall and several metal seats. They were reclining seats, altogether more comfortable, more palatial than before. On the wall, facing these seats, I noticed two screens. I guessed what they were for. Sit back and relax, I was advised. He stood up for a moment and turned to me and said, "Well, little sister, I have a surprise for you." "Oh, good. What with the wretched weather we are having, I would welcome a surprise." He said, "This one you will welcome." "May I know what it is, please?" "You are going to meet two friends." "Really? Do I know them?" "Yes, you know them," was the comment. My mind worked very quickly and I thought, was it my father? Was it my mother? Anybody else who had passed over? I assumed that it would be nobody in the flesh. I could not think, but he just gave me a knowing smile. Then almost immediately, after one of the others came in from the control room, not a word passed, which I could hear, but I suppose there was some signal given. Then, all of a sudden, the flying saucer started to move. I asked, "Do we have to go far like this?" "We have an appointment to keep." "Not up in the sky like this." I was dumbfounded. He was very amused because I was sure that he could see I was getting a little anxious. "Yes," he said, "up in the sky like this. This is where we keep our appointment." "Oh dear, am I to meet my friends up here?" "Yes," he replied. The mystery got deeper and deeper. I thought, who on earth would come to meet me up here? It is bad enough in Devon, but here? He got into conversation and we talked over all sorts of things about the Ethereal Society and flying saucers and about everything in general. It was most amazing. It was just astounding how much he knew. I had been in the craft, I should imagine, about half to 3/4 of an hour when I could tell there was excitement. Oh, yes, they were excited, but to say how I felt, well, that is a different matter. I had never felt like it before. I thought, it's no good asking to go back because I must go through with it. Of course, I knew I was in good hands, but it was the suspense of waiting to know who these friends were and just what they had to tell me or show me which seemed frightening. The captain suddenly entered, carrying a most magnificent box. Suddenly, the door opened. The captain was standing up. I shall always remember that. Through all eternity, I shall remember that scene. He stood on one side, and in came two figures, tall, sunburnt, whitish hair, greyish white one, pure white the other. I stood spellbound. "I know both of them," I said aloud. One was my visitor to Barbrook in Devon. He smiled and bowed to me and said, "Welcome, little sister of earth." "Oh," I said, "you." "I told you I should see you again." But the other one, oh, the other one, have you guessed who it was? I knew that I had seen those eyes before, but this time there was no crown of thorns. There were no nail prints in his hands. He had the bearing of a king of kings, but he was in a tight-fitting suit and had whitish hair, barely grey, no beard. No long loose garment, but across the front of him he had a golden ornament, and in the center of it was a huge stone, a star, which shone so beautifully. I turned to the captain and said, "That's our dear Jesus." He nodded in agreement. I said, "Oh, I cannot sit here. Let me kneel down at his feet. Then Jesus spoke in that lovely voice, "Be still, beloved child, and remain seated." Well, can you imagine? Can you just conceive what I felt like? With such a master, with such a King of Kings, to be told to remain seated in his presence. But I did as I was told. Then he walked to the table and said to the captain of the craft, "Give me the book." Then I knew it all. The Master Jesus had come himself to receive that book. The captain picked it out of the pile immediately. It was your 12 blessings. Jesus took it in both hands and turned to the table, which was attached to the wall of the room. And this was what he said: "O supreme master of all creation, higher than the highest, mightier than the mightiest, greater than all greatness, we bring to thee this offering in great humility and love from our beloved brother of earth, George, the one whom thou didst choose to be a leader among men of earth in this their new age." Then after that, he placed the book in the box, and it fitted exactly. And from the grill above the screen came chanting and singing so magnificent that I wept aloud. I cannot describe it, and even a stone would have been moved to tears. After a few moments of the music, he turned from the table and said, as he held the box with the book in it, "Blessed is he who, reading this book, does understand. But exalted is he, even among the angels, who, reading this book, doth take it to his heart and follow its precepts." Next slide, please, Jack. Then he hesitated for a few moments and turned to me and said, "Tell my son that this book is now and forever will be holy." Then he put his hand upon my head, saying, "Peace, my child. I give you freely of my love. Take it and know that I am with you always." I think the captain understood, because with those words they both departed, and the captain went out of the room with them. After that, I was so filled that I could not speak for some time. To have seen the Master Jesus in person, to have his hand placed upon my head, to receive his blessing, and what is more, to have seen him take your book and bless it, well, it was just too much. Of course, the captain undoubtedly understood human excitement. When he returned, he waited patiently for me to speak. "Has the Master Jesus gone?" I asked. "They are gone." "Did he come especially to see me and receive the book?" "He came especially to see you and to consecrate the book." Consecrate is the word you use. That book is now holy. And it's a story that you can read in full in Cosmic Voice Volume 5, which you can find from our website, ethereus.org/shop. In that Cosmic Voice edition, you'll also find a longer article where Dr. King actually questions his mother, Mary King, about this experience and pulls out even more information about this. Okay, so now we're going to move on to exploring some of the prayers in the 12 blessings. And to start with, I'd like to read out a short quote from the Master Aetherius to kind of set the scene before we move into deconstructing and exploring the prayers of the 12 blessings. So this is what the Master Aetherius had to say. Go on and reach outward, reach upward. But do not ever, my brothers, please forget to reach inwards. For although the outside world has much to offer, it cannot offer you one jot, one small part of what the inside world can offer to you. You know, the shortest journey that you can make takes you the longest time to complete. That, dear friends, is the journey within you. If you do, especially in these troubled times, go deep within your own hearts, deep within your own minds, deep within your own intuition, and bring forth the treasures you find there into the world outside. Then, dear friends, can you illustrate to yourselves that you are really angels in disguise. You can then illustrate to your younger brothers that there are more opportune paths down which you can guide their faltering feet. End quote. So the master theorist in that quote is highlighting a very key point which runs through most of the prayers of the 12 blessings that many of us may know, but most of us, including myself, struggle to believe and even act on. And we know that by going within through spiritual practices, we can manifest tremendous psychic and spiritual powers, like seeing into the future, seeing what is happening in another country, on another planet, telepathy. We can create healing miracles and connect with our own higher divine self, which will always guide us right through the voice of intuition, which is the voice of the higher divine self. We can project outside of our body and visit heavenly realms of existence, to converse and learn from great healers and spiritual leaders and masters and see wonderful sights without needing a passport, airplane, packing a suitcase or hotels, etc. A conscious outer body experience that we can learn to develop by going within. The answers to the problems and challenges in our lives lie within us. And these are just some of the treasures, some of the many treasures that the master theorist is talking about that we can learn to bring forth from within us. So if we know there is great advantage to be gained by going within, then why do we not do this more often and more fully? This is what the great spiritual master, Mars Sector 6, had to say in 1957. You have been conditioned. You have been specially prepared, all of you, by the few who will turn you outside of yourselves, the few who are the dark manipulators behind the scenes of your world. You have been specially prepared in order to become but clay in the hands of a few scheming plotters. End quote. So yes, we have allowed ourselves to be so deeply conditioned and limited and so attached to the outside world. We are so attached and even addicted in many cases to outside stimulation from friends, from family, from social media, mobile phones, alcohol, drugs, greed, TV shows, etc., etc., etc. And the solution is for us to learn to go within. And most of the prayers of the 12 blessings are about exactly that, praying that humanity may break free from the addictions to outside stimulation and train our focus to go more inwards so we can learn to manifest the tremendous power to heal, uplift, guide, and more that lies within us. These prayers also serve as a teaching to us that we can do the same and that we should prioritize going within more. Fabulous. So the first blessing prayer is, Almighty Father of all creation. Feel free to read along with me if you wish to, just to get in tune with the vibrations of these prayers. so we can get more out of them. Almighty Father of all creation, let your light flow through this world now. Let it shine into the hearts and minds of men now, so that all may look within and see the glory of thine everlasting being. O Spirit of spirits, let your love flow through the hearts and minds of man now, so that he may look within and see the great and wondrous glory of his divine heritage. Wonderful, beautiful, inspiring words there. So notice how selfless these prayers are. These prayers are not about helping the person who's praying directly. You're not asking for yourself to be helped or healed. It's about helping others. And the prayers and the 12 blessings are mostly about helping the whole of humanity, because the Master Jesus saw humanity as one big human family that needed nurturing and caring for. These prayers go way beyond blood ties or blood family and close circle of friends that we are so deeply attached to. These prayers are not about praying for personal wealth and comfort. They are not about praying for our blood family's health and well-being. And because of their focus on benefiting the whole of humanity, those who agree with these prayers, the principles behind these prayers, and use them, will access a higher or purer form of love. This higher form of love is not based on like or dislike, or even possession. The spiritual master, Mars Sector 6, stated, and I quote, "All things living, which means all things upon terra or earth, respond to the release of this great, all-pervasive energy, especially if it be released in its highest form." Love is not possession. In its highest aspect, it is above all forms of individualization. It is impersonal. It is not binding, as is possession, but it brings freedom. Wonderful words there. So what freedom does love bring? Nine Freedoms book tells us, and I quote, "Freedom from war, freedom from disease, freedom from one's lower self, freedom from hate, freedom from basic emotionalism." So as there is so much disease, war, hate, and basic emotionalism throughout our world, it's quite clear to see that humanity is not using enough of this higher form of love to bring positive change. And the 12 Blessings prayers give you the opportunity to contact this higher form of love and radiate it outwards to help bring great and positive change and help as many people as we possibly can through these prayers. So now we're going to move on to the third blessing prayer sheet, please. So this is a very simple prayer. It's a shorter prayer out of the 12, out of all of the prayers. It's a wonderful, wonderful prayer to be a more powerful channel for love and light energy. So let's move on to the fourth blessing prayer, please, there, Jack. So this one, let's read this out. "O divine and everlasting Spirit, we pray that your mighty power may fall upon the world now. We pray that this might enter into all men, so that they may have some small glimpse of themselves, and that this glimpse, even though but dimly seen, might be forever a monument at the crossroads of their inspiration." So when we advance on our spiritual journey, sooner or later, we will reach a stage where we will be able to look through our third eye, our Ajna chakra, and see for ourselves directly what we truly are. Not the physical body, not our family or blood ties or other labels we use to identify ourselves, but something much greater. Dr. King described it as, and I quote, When one sees one's real self, one's spirit for the greatness that it is, the unimaginable power that is there, power to create worlds. End quote. And this is what you're praying for, that people may have some direct glimpse of their real higher divine selves, a direct experience of this greatness that dwells within them, that can solve all of their problems, give them the intuition, the knowledge to help them to avoid needless suffering, avoid making costly mistakes, and move in the direction that their soul needs to move in order for them to learn their lessons in life and evolve faster and faster. And that's what we're praying for with this particular prayer. And when he says, might be forever a monument at the crossroads of their inspiration, what does that mean? When one has this experience, this direct contact with the divine, this perception of the divine, one becomes greatly inspired in many, many ways, in whatever way one calls upon this inspiration. And Dr. King said that, for instance, one is an artist or a musician, greater will be their inspiration, musical inspiration, after such an experience. So now let's move on to the fifth blessing, prayer. O divine Spirit of everlasting life, let the mighty power of thy love flow forth into all the peoples of the world, so that they may be risen up to realize their divinity, so that they may live and act in this light, to let this light flow forth forever through them. Almighty God, there will be no barriers now. So again, we have that same theme coming up in this prayer, that humanity may come to realize their divinity. And through realizing their divinity, they'll be able to solve their own problems if they learn to live and act in this light, and to allow this light to flow forever through them, this light, this divine light, this divine power. And Almighty God, there will be no barriers now. So you're praying in that instance for all barriers, all obstacles, for anyone to realize the divine within may be dissolved. Barriers like our addiction to outside stimulation, traumas, disease, negative influences from outside and from within. You're praying that all such barriers may melt away so as to create better conditions to allow people to connect with the limitless divine power within, which will greatly improve their lives in every aspect of their lives. Now, this prayer, same as the other previous prayers and the ones after this, could result in a miraculous healing of some chronic disease in some 1 or 2 or 5 or more people when you recite these prayers. It could guide those 1 or 2 or 5 or more people. It may guide them to become more spiritually minded, because they know deep down within them that it is a spiritual approach to life that will solve their personal problems and the problems of the world. Let's move on to the next prayer, which is a 6th blessing prayer. Again, you see with this 6th blessing prayer, the same theme coming in here, that humanity, that the hearts and minds of man might be opened to thy presence, to thy mighty light, so that they may forever glorify thee, so that they may learn to glorify God, to appreciate God more, to love God more, to bless God more, so that they may realize that within them beats a spark. It's one thing to know that there is divinity within us. It's another thing to realize that there is divinity within us. There's a world of difference there. You know, the one thing is knowledge, the other thing is realization, having that direct connection. And that's what we're praying for. This is what we're all working towards. And so there's, you know, this is but the journey of life the Master Jesus is giving us, the journey of life, the journey of why we're here, what our purpose is to realize that God dwells within us all, to move from knowledge of this to realization of this. And this is the journey of many, many lifetimes to get there. So can we move on to the next, please? Thank you very much. And again, we have the same theme here, that with the seventh blessing prayer, that humanity, that all the children upon the earth may reach upwards and realize the divinity of their heritage. Now, but every time we recite these prayers, we don't know how many people we could be helping to break free from the shackles of their limitations, of their conditioning, and help them to soar upwards towards appreciating and living a spiritual approach to life. Can we move on to the next prayer, please, which is the 10th? And the 10th is very different. This is something, it's one of my favorite prayers. I love to do this one, which is a prayer to the galaxy, after we send a blessing to the galaxy. And one thing which I love to do is I try and look at some of the images of people that they've taken of the Milky Way galaxy in the night sky. And I try and imagine myself there, looking into the heart of the galaxy while I say this blessing and prayer. And I just imagine myself, whether I'm leading a 12 blessing service or doing my own prayers at home or on a holy mountain or wherever I am, that's what I do. And I highly recommend you guys do that as well. And it just really lifts your soul and helps you to connect with the galaxy so much more deeply when you do that. Can we move on to the next prayer, please? Thank you. And again, we have here a beautiful prayer from the Master Jesus. Let the light from your heart, let the love from your heart, let the power from your heart fall upon the heads of all these earth children, so that they may be made strong and wise and capable of unselfish love, so that they may be able always to render service to their brothers. Wonderful, wonderful prayers there. So again, the Master Jesus is once again reinforcing the importance of manifesting unselfish love, selfless love, this higher form of love that I mentioned earlier on. And throughout the world, we see manifestations of selfish love, of family and maybe a small circle of friends. But which is fine, it's okay. I mean, it's something I do. We all do this. But what is severely lacking in the world is unselfish love. And this is why the Master Jesus is focusing very much on unselfish love, loving others without conditions attached, which is something the Master Jesus demonstrated actively 2,000 years ago through his life when you just look at what he did. And he's also demonstrating this through these 12 blessings and the prayers as well. And in this prayer, we have the application of unselfish love showing up as service to others, which is another key principle, key spiritual teaching, which is one of the most important spiritual actions that we can perform today, which is selfless service to others. Move on to the 12th blessing prayer, please. And again, we have the same theme running here, so that they may all realize their divine heritage and oneness with thee. So we're asking for power and love to flow through us. So we're asking for movement to take place by reciting these prayers. We're asking for energy to flow out through us to all the peoples of the world, so that they may all realize their divine heritage, so that it may transform them, it may heal them, it may raise their consciousness upwards, so that they may realize the oneness of all life, the oneness with divinity. And every time, we send a blessing to each of the 12 focal points, we get an energy back from those 12 focal points. So it's a very beautiful, strategically crafted practice and teaching that we can enjoy and practice. And now we're going to move into actually doing the practice of the 12 blessings. And we're going to practice this together. So let's join in with the practice with raising our arms, fingers and thumbs together, palms facing away from our bodies as I'm showing you on the screen. And allow white light, visualize a brilliant white light to flow down upon your heads, down through the brain. Keep the eyes closed, relax the shoulders, breathing deeply and evenly. Allow this white light to flow down through the head, neck, shoulders, down the arms, and out through the palms of the hands and the heart chakra. And the heart chakra is a few inches in front of the bottom of the breastbone. So allow these 3 beams of white light to flow out. If you find it hard to visualize, that's okay. Just relax And just know and feel and believe that these three beams of white light are flowing out to the destination that we shall now trace out, which are the 12 blessings. So I will say the blessing heading out loud slowly, so you can join in and repeat the same words aloud with a feeling of love and a desire to help that focal point of that blessing. And then we will join in with the prayers afterwards. Okay? And as you recite the headings and the prayers, just know and feel that your unselfish love is pouring out through you to the destination of that prayer. Try not to focus so much on the white light when you're saying the headings and the prayers. Just put as much love and feeling and meaning into it. But we can start off now by radiating this white light outwards from the palms of the hands and the heart chakra. So let's join in with the first blessing. Blessed are they who work for peace. Join in with the prayer. Almighty Father of all creation, let your light flow through this world now. Let it shine into the hearts and minds of men now, so that all may look within and see the glory of thine everlasting being. O Spirit of spirits, let your love flow through the hearts and minds of man now, so that he may look within and see the great and wondrous glory of his divine heritage. Blessed are the wise ones. Blessed are they who love. Almighty God, who is the creator of all things, we pray that your light may shine through us all, so that we may transmit this unto the world. Blessed are the planetary ones. O divine and everlasting Spirit, we pray that your mighty power may fall upon the world now. We pray that this might enter into all men, so that they may have some small glimpse of themselves, and that this glimpse, even though but dimly seen, might be forever a monument at the crossroads of their inspiration. Blessed are the thanksgivers. O divine Spirit of everlasting life, let the mighty power of thy love flow forth into all the peoples of the world, so that they may be risen up to realize their divinity, so that they may live and act in this light, to let this light flow forth forever through them. Almighty God, there will be no barriers now. Blessed are they who heal. O divine Lord of all wondrous creation, we raise our voices and minds to you now in prayer, knowing, even as we do, that this is answered at this moment. O wondrous God, we ask that the hearts and minds of man might be opened to thy presence, to thy mighty light, so that they may forever glorify thee, so that they may realize that within them beats a spark directly connected to thy wondrous heart. We raise our minds in thankfulness for the fulfillment of our prayer. For this shall come to pass upon this earth. Blessed is the Mother Earth. Almighty Creator, let the wondrous beams of your majestic power flow through all the children upon the earth this very moment, so that they may reach upwards and realize the divinity of their heritage. Blessed is the mighty Son. Blessed are the supreme lords of karma. Blessed is the great being known as the galaxy. O Divine One, who allows us within thy body, take from our hearts our love into thine own self this very moment. We make this sacrifice, for we dimly realize thy greatness. Almighty Jehovah, Lord of creation, compassionate master of all life, controller of manifestation, to thee we offer our prayer of everlasting thankfulness for the sacrifice continually made by thy wondrous angel. Preserve this one for its allotted time. Then, O Jehovah, Lord of Lords, transmute it into the center of centers within thy mind. Blessed are the supreme lords of creation. Almighty, wondrous Jehovah, let the light from your heart, let the love from your heart, let the power from your heart fall upon the heads of all these earth children, so that they may be made strong and wise and capable of unselfish love, so that they may be able always to render service to their brothers. Blessed is the Absolute. Almighty Jehovah, let the wondrous power from your everlasting heart fall upon the heads of all those upon the earth now. Let the wondrous love from your mighty heart fall upon the hearts of all those upon the earth now, so that they may all realize their divine heritage and oneness with thee. Lower the hands, relax the shoulders, close the eyes, go within. Stop sharing there, Jack, please. Thank you. Let us just go within for a few moments and just tune in. Observe, mentally scan your mind and body to observe and acknowledge any shifts, any changes, any reactions. How are you feeling after that practice? Observe and acknowledge whatever shows up for you for the next few seconds. Now we're going to have the privilege of listening to a couple of minutes, words of the Master Jesus, the channeled wisdom and teaching. So let us keep the breath nice and long and deep and even, keeping the eyes closed. Let us tune into the vibrations of the Master Jesus.
O sweet little children, let your minds and your hearts be open to the gentle power which floweth like a deep river from the heart of God. It floweth into your spirit. From there it illuminates the soul. Let it come inwards into your mind and heart from the soul of you. Let it flow gently in sweet peace, so that you might be illuminated by this everlasting stream, which is the love of God for the lower aspects of God. My children, learn stillness of body. Move ye not. Learn stillness of heart. Let not the lake of peace be ruffled by violent emotion. Learn stillness of mind. Then will the everlasting stream flow through your soul into your mind. But it will not do this while you move like restless animals.
Let us contemplate on those words for a few moments. Let us tap on our knees with our hands, open our eyes, bring ourselves back into the physical space. And just some closing announcements before we move on to our interaction stage of this event. If you don't have a copy of this book, The 12 Blessings, I highly, highly recommend you get it. It's got tremendous wisdom in there. It's got the blessings, the prayers, and it's got a partial one page of the story of Mary King and how Master Jesus came to bless the 12 blessings as well. It's not the complete story, but it's just on one page. But if you want the full story, like I said, highly recommend you get Cosmic Voice Volume 5 to get the fuller story of what happened with this amazing, remarkable encounter between Mary King and the Master Jesus and the blessing of the 12 Blessings book. Also, we have the 12 Blessings podcast series, which you can access through our website, www.aetherius.org. You just need to go to the blog and podcast section at the top. And then if you want to explore deeper into each of the blessings, deeper than we have gone so far with the first two of these Zoom sessions, go and check out those podcasts and you'll get a deeper understanding of each of the blessings and the prayers associated where relevant. And also you can listen to the 12 blessings online through our Aetherius cloud. You can listen to the exact words of the Master Jesus, part of which you've just heard there, the recorded channeled words of the Master Jesus channeled through the expert mediumship of Dr. George King. And you also have access to the lectures on each of the blessings by Dr. King as well, which you can access and listen to go even deeper into understanding these blessings. And also we invite you to join us for our online world healing services, which we do pretty much every day. And you can just go to the webpage that you see on the screen here. You can take an image of that if you want to. It's a great way to join in with other people around the world. We've got people from many, many countries who come together to join in with the online world healing services, where we practice doing the 12 blessings together as a group, just like what we did today. And also, if you live near a physical Aetherius Society's centre, we have a temple in Barnsley, we have a temple in Fulham, we've got groups across the UK and Scotland and across the world in Los Angeles as well, in Detroit, in Hollywood, and Canada. We've got centres all over the world, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Auckland, in New Zealand, in Australia, in Brisbane, where you can actually go and visit these places or join in with a physical in-person world healing service where we practice the 12 blessings together. And you're welcome to join us for that. So go to that webpage, aetherius.org/locations, and to find the nearest center to you, and you'll find details of how to contact them about these activities. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the session, or at the end of my presentation, that is. But now we're going to open up now to anyone that wants to share any experiences, any questions, any comments you may have regarding the 12 blessings. Let's have a conversation, people. So Lucia says, in the 12 Blessings book, it states that we should have a green light in the room. Is this really necessary? And if so, does it need to be any specific light other than green? That's a good question there, Lucia. Yes, the 12 Blessings book does mention that. That is more of a best practice thing. When I first started doing the 12 Blessings, I did follow that quite religiously. But then after time went on, I kind of stopped using the green light. And I would just do it in front of my altar where I've got holy shapes and pictures of the Master Jesus and then Dr. King as well. I've got my own little altar space. I don't really use color so much, but the green helps you get you in the right headspace. So which is why he recommended we should use green light. But you don't have to, do it every time. But it's something you can experiment with and see how it feels for you, how it works for you. To answer your question, it's not really necessary, but it is helpful for you to have an even better 12 blessings experience if you do use the green light. So hopefully that answers your question. And you also
I've
say,
watched a light on Amazon. You just plug the light bulb in, and then you get this remote, and you can change. You can get the violet color, or you can get green. That's quite handy.
oh, okay,
Plugs into any light bulb.
That's a good
Screws
point.
into any light bulb.
Good point. Good point there. Thank you for that. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts, any questions, any feedback? How did you find that practice, or any questions about the story of Mary King, or any of the deconstruction that we did of the prayers? Feel free to speak up. You can unmute yourselves and speak if you wish to as well. Elizabeth, I see. Brian, yes. We can't hear you, Brian. Can't hear you, Brian. Okay, would anyone else, while Brian's trying to fix his thing, feel free to ask any questions, any comments. Sandy says, I love this session. You created the 12 blessings for me in a fresh way. So thank you. Wonderful, definitely. I think the 12 blessings is something, we do pretty much every day. It's a core spiritual practice in the in the Ethereal Society. So I think it's important to try and explore the 12 blessings in a different way, to give it a different perspective, to help people appreciate it that little bit more, and maybe in a different way, so that when we get down to actually doing the practice, it means so much more, and we can actually radiate even more power and energy through us out to the world. So yeah, these sessions I feel that they are becoming very important to helping kind of consolidate and to amplify the benefits and the reach and the wisdom of the 12 blessings, as well as the practice as well. So thank you for sharing that, Sandy. Elizabeth, do you want to say something? I see your microphone is unmuted.
I want to ask a question about Mary.
Yes.
Was she in constant contact with the sources, or what, for her to have just walked and then gone into that steps? And I have listened to it on our cloud, yes, but it's not in full. Like you say, we need to get the book. Maybe I will get the more information there.
Yes, I would
maybe you can highlight.
Yeah, I would recommend getting Cosmic Voice Volume 5, which you can get from our website, the shop on our website, and to get the full story. The whole story is in there. And also you've got Dr. King, her son, and asking questions of his mother about the experience as well, to pull out even more information. There's just too much information to share in this short time that we have. I just wanted to give you a little flavor of it. But yeah, she was a very special lady. I mean, she was someone who obviously had a direct connection with the Master Jesus 2,000 years ago when he was incarnate on this world. And so she'd obviously generated a lot of positive karma through her work with the Master Jesus 2,000 years ago. Because in the story it says that, she remembered seeing him, physically 2,000 years ago, on the cross. And so she must have been a very prominent person in the life of the Master Jesus 2,000 years ago. And it has been rumored that she may even have been Mary Magdalene. We don't know for sure. I'm not sure, but she may have been Mary Magdalene in those times, and which would explain why she had this contact, because she had this connection and relationship with the Master Jesus in terms of serving him, helping him with his mission in many different ways, and that generated a lot of positive karma and enabled her to rekindle that connection again when she reincarnated as Mary King, the mother of Dr. George King. Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you for that, Elizabeth. But yeah, definitely get Cosmic Voice Volume 5, and that'll take you deeper into the story as well. Birgit says the story of Mary King is absolutely fantastic, and it really goes into my heart. I feel elated hearing it. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Birgit. It is. She puts it so simply. Her excitement and her anxiousness, it shines through her writing as well. And so it's great to see that. And she's very, she comes across as being very humble in this article, and it's an amazing experience. Just imagine, being able to have an experience like that with the Master Jesus. That would be mind blowing, yeah, life changing, transformational. And every time we do the 12 blessings practice, we are building a connection, a direct connection with the Master Jesus. And many people who have practiced the 12 blessings since 1958 have had visions of the Master Jesus as well, and had experiences with the Master Jesus. And we can all have that. We can all cultivate that. We can all develop that through practicing these teachings. So and putting, yeah. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Sandy says, Margaret says, felt uplifted into this great peace space bubble. You want to stay in much longer, 100%. Thank you for sharing that, Margaret. Sandy says, can your colleague show us the green light app again? So, Jack, if you're still there, I know Jack has to leave at some point, but I'm not sure. He may have left already. So he may not be able to show us, but I can ask him to share the detail. He didn't share it in here, did he? No. Okay, so I'll touch base with him on that point there, Sandy. Okay, so Christine says, thank you so much for giving the background to these special blessings, which helped me understand their great importance. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Christine. Patricia says, at one point you were saying one of the prayers, but I heard another voice behind yours. It was whispering. I can't remember at which point, but it was very clear that you were not the only one speaking. Wonderful. Interesting psychic experience there. Yeah, when you really explore the 12 blessings in a deeper level, it's not when the 12 blessings were given, it wasn't just about the teachings. There was also like a tremendous power and energy of love that was released through Dr. King, which helped to heal the land of Britain, of the whole of Britain. And so these teachings and practices of the 12 blessings, they work on many, many levels. And when we become more psychic, more sensitive, like Patricia clearly is, you'll start to uncover different layers of this teaching and of this wisdom and of this practice as well. So thank you for sharing that, Patricia. And anyone else would like to share? Salvatore, would you like to share anything? Can you unmute yourselves if you want to speak? So
Can you hear me now?
yes, we can hear you now, Salvatore. Yes, go for
Great.
it.
Hi. Hello. Yeah, I'm here in New York, on Long Island, and I have two
Wonderful.
Yes, I'm a experiencer, from way back as far as seeing ships and so on, and I know that some are spiritual and some are not. So when I do see a ship, I guess I can tell, more or less which is not, which is, spiritual, which is not. What's your insight on that? I mean, how do you decipher? How would you decipher? And how, how is that go? How's that going to play out in the future as far as good and evil ships and so on? You have any?
Yeah, there is a lot of misinformation out there. It's such a murky world, this whole UFO field, I guess, and it's hard. It is becoming harder and harder to discern. But I think one thing that's helped me a lot, and has helped a lot of us, is actually really studying Dr. King's teachings and understanding on the spiritual dimension of UFOs and alien life. That will help you to decipher and discern from a lot of the nonsense that's out there, and help you to understand better some of the, because we believe in the theory side when you study our teachings that even though there are hostile evil aliens out there, we are actually being protected from the evil ones by the spiritual ones in this solar system. That's
Okay.
our belief. But I know there's a lot of a lot of people wouldn't necessarily believe that, because they think that, there are cattle mutilations going on, there are UFO abductions going on, there's all sorts of negative stuff going on around all of this stuff. And in one of the teachings, one of the transmissions of Dr. King, in the late 1950s, one of the cosmic masters from Mars stated that there is this silence group, this power group on this world, and which is deliberately. Brian, can you keep yourself muted, please? There's some weird sounds coming through your. Thank you. Okay, so in this transmission, one of the cosmic masters from Mars was saying that there is a silence group where this links back to the teaching that I gave earlier on about how we've been specially prepared, specially conditioned by the powers that be to take us outside of ourselves, because they don't want us to go within ourselves. And there is this what we call a silence group. I think Dr. Stephen Gray calls it the secret government. Different terms for it, which have their tentacles in all the major world, in all the countries of the world, and in this transmission, this master from Mars was saying that this silence group are actually going around impersonating aliens, going around kidnapping people, and they even paid Hollywood actors to go around and kidnap them to spread fear, to spread confusion. And so this is in the early transmissions in the 1950s, a cosmic message that came through Dr. King, recorded, documented. And a few years ago, I came across Dr. Stephen Greer. A few years ago, I came across Dr. Stephen Greer, and he also said something very similar. He uncovered evidence, documents, which said that this secret government have been actually impersonating aliens, going around doing cattle mutilations, abducting people to spread fear, confusion, disinformation, and so that people don't turn towards the light.
Right.
So it's all about divide and conquer. That's what they're trying to do.
Yes, makes sense to me.
And I think a lot of the a lot of sightings that people are having are actually people, maybe advanced craft that some of our secret military establishments have created, and they're capable of doing far greater things than normal traditional aircraft, mainstream aircraft can do. So they may appear to look like aliens. They may appear to be an alien ship.
Right.
Some of these craft, and I suspect that some of these craft are the ones being used by the silence group to do all these horrible things. That's one aspect of it. And another aspect of it is that a lot of people are having experiences with other realms as well, like beings from other realms, from what we call lower astral realms, where they may have abduction type experiences or negative experiences with evil entities on this world, not from other worlds, because we believe we're being protected from the evil aliens by the spiritual ones in this solar system.
Okay.
So there's a lot more I could say, but I don't want to, go on about that. But
it's very good.
And also, is there a center in New York?
No, there may well be a few members in New York. I'm not aware of any, but I don't think there is a center in there. There's no center there at the moment. But if you get in touch with our Los Angeles headquarters, they can potentially put you in touch with people in New York if you want to connect with people there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
great.
Cool.
Right. May I just add the fake crop cycles as well?
Yes. Yeah. There is a lot of that as well.
Exactly. Thank you, Ayub.
Yeah. There's so much misinformation. It's such a murky field now. They've really muddied the waters so much. And it's becoming harder and harder for people to find the truth. But it's always good, as long as we stick with the spiritual approach. Dr. King also said that if we explore the spiritual dimension of UFOs and alien life, then we will find the answers to many problems, the problems of our world. Because there is a lot of solutions to be found in exploring the spiritual dimension, not so much the abductions, not the negative stuff. You need to move, cast that to one side and focus on the light.
Mm-hmm. Also, I have another question.
Yes.
So in the readings, is there any information about when Jesus comes back to this world? and to help humanity?
Yes. Yes, Jesus has stated in our teachings, in the channeled teachings, that he has never left us. He's always here.
Right. Yeah.
And people have been having experiences. I know people, I've had experiences where a connection with the Master Jesus. I know other people have had visions and seen them as well when we've done the 12 blessings. And it's a great way to improve your karma. The 12 blessings practice is a great way to attract more divine intervention into your life. So you get more protection from the dark forces around you, because you're working with the law of karma. This is the brilliance of the Master Jesus' strategy, is that you're working with the law of karma. You're activating the law of karma in a very positive way for your benefit, to attract these 12 high frequency energies into you, through you, and then you radiate them outwards through prayer to humanity. Then you get energy coming back to you. So there's a constant backwards and forwards, constant backwards and forwards. You're sending out love energy to all these different focal points, and you get a lot of energy coming back to you. So that builds up a lot of light in you. You attract a lot of divine light, a lot of divine intervention, a lot of divine help in your life, and keeps you away from a lot of the negative influences. So it's a very powerful practice for psychic self-protection, if that's something people want to do. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else want to share any questions, comments, feedback? Feel free to do so. Jack has shared the link to the light bulb, the Amazon link. So you can see that in the chat space. If you want to go there, you can click on the link and save that. If you want to check that out for later on, that would be great. And Jack says there are many types on different retailers. Darren says, thanks very much. I have to leave now. Wonderful. Yes, we have gone over time. But yeah, if you need to leave, of course, leave. But I just want to give you guys the opportunity to ask questions, share experiences if you want to explore further, so we can develop a deeper appreciation of this amazing, remarkable teaching. Brian, we still can't hear you. No, we still can't hear you. Elizabeth, would you like to say something? You have your hand raised.
Yes, Ayub. My question is about the mountain and the healing that people received at the mountain. And is it still any retreats happen or no more?
So are you talking about a holy mountain pilgrimage?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there will be pilgrimages this year. We are planning a very big pilgrimage. If you can travel to England, in Devon, close to where the Mary King contact actually happened, the one that I read from, that took place in Barbrook, in the Barbrook area in Devon, very close to, and just a few miles from there is a holy mountain called Holston Down, and we're planning a big pilgrimage there in late June. We haven't publicized it as yet, but we will do in the coming week or two or something like that. So that's something to look forward to. There will be pilgrimages on your side of the pond as well in USA. We've got 4 holy mountains there, and you'll have to check out their webpage, ethereus.org. And if you go to ethereus.org/locations, and look up the Los Angeles headquarters, and you'll find details of their activities, including pilgrimages there.
Thank you.
And if you've got their number, you can always call them as well. You can give them a phone call and ask them.
Yes, I've spoken to Ashima and Brian.
Wonderful.
And I would like to meet Richard one day, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, feel free. You're welcome to come.
I enjoy listening to him on his podcast.
Yeah, Richard is amazing.
He explains so well a lot of things. And yes, and I understand. Yeah. Anyway, about today's meeting was really lovely. It was different as well from the last time where I was emanating those signs in the
Oh yes, yes, of course.
Yes, today no, but the galaxy is what really intrigues me, because I just seem to see it, visualize it as
Yeah.
if it's this moving comet,
Mm,
just moving around, swaying. I'm inside, of course, somewhere,
mm,
whatever. That's
mm.
my imagination, which I guess that's a good imagination.
Well, well,
Taking
Dr.
a ride.
Yeah. I mean, Dr. King says it's our only creative faculty. So, and controlled
Yeah.
imagination is what will help us to break free from the shackles of our limitations. And this is, so use it, whatever you need to do
Yep.
to help you visualize the galaxy. And obviously it's
Yes.
beyond anything any justice we can do to it with our lowly, small imaginations. But looking at some of the pictures of the galaxy and the night sky that people have are just, they're really amazing. They astound me. And it really gets you in the right headspace for doing the 12 blessings when I'm out in nature and you see the stars and you can bless the stars and recognize that everything is divine, everything is living, everything is feeling, everything is
Yes.
the wonderful, wonderful, elating feeling to have. And this cosmic concept of the 12 blessings is just fantastic. It's just brilliant. It's such a unique teaching, such a unique practice, and it works on so many levels, so many layers. I've been practicing it for more than 25 years, and there's still more for me to learn from the 12 blessings. And I'm still on that journey just as much as you guys are, to connecting with the divine within and learning to bring forth the treasures that lie within us.
Yeah.
I've had a little taste of it here and there over the years, but I've still got a very long way to go and to grow, to develop these and go within and put into practice what the Master Jesus is asking us to pray for others, which is to go within
Yes.
and
Yes.
realize the
Yes.
divine power, the divine greatness within you, within me, within all things. And that's what we're here for.
Especially the including of Mother Earth. That's
That's
really took my
beautiful.
heart,
Yeah.
and I feel such empathy towards this whole abuse that
Mm,
human beings have
yes.
done. And yes, and it's like my prayer is making sense because the noises we've been making throughout the millions and millions of years to trying to ask God for this and that and
Yeah.
overlooking the really, really rightful prayers, which
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
these make so much sense.
Yes,
And they really
exactly.
grounded me. They ground my soul. I feel very,
Mm,
very comfortable having,
yeah.
to learn more about them and read,
Mm,
I've got to practice to be able to completely fluently have to say them without having to really read all.
yeah. Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah.
100%.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
It was
Elizabeth.
lovely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
It is really nice also to have a discussion because there's so many questions that you feel another human being should answer me and explain after,
Yeah,
okay, fine, listen to this. So this is wonderful.
it
Gives us
is.
a
It is.
chance.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I want to give you guys the opportunity to have these conversations
Thank
and
you.
share. So
Thank you.
because otherwise
Thank you.
yeah, we don't, it's something I recognize is something that we needed to do, especially around the 12 blessings. And so yeah, anyone else would like to share, feel free to unmute yourselves and speak if anyone wishes to. No pressure. Okay, so we have Margaret says, I have enjoyed and learned a lot from this enlightening session. Feel great expansion within. Thank you for the great teaching, Ayub. Wonderful. Thank you, Margaret. My pleasure. Birgit says, thank you, Ayub, for all your information. I hear something new every time with you. 100%. There's so much to explore and discover with the 12 blessings. And we've barely scratched the surface of it with this session and the last session we did. And yeah, there's a lot more to discover. Lucia says, thank you. And Jenny says, thank you very much. Lovely session. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so unless there's any burning questions, comments, feedback from anyone else, I think we'll wrap it up now. And just to say thank you very much for your participation and your openness to learn more and to discover this great, beautiful teaching that is the 12 blessings. And going forward, we will have more sessions like this, but I think the next one will be around middle of March, which will be roughly around the time of the actual birth date of the Master Jesus, because from next Saturday onwards, we're starting a 30-day mantra chanting challenge, or what we call spiritual sound healing, 30 days of mantra chanting challenge. So if you want to know more information about that, please pop your emails in the chat space, and I'll take a picture of that and send you some information about that if you're not signed up for the mantra chanting challenge. So that's going to be our main focus for the next month or so. So if you want to join us for that journey, and all we're asking people to do for that is just commit to doing 5 minutes of mantra chanting a day at home, and we'll give you email guidance, we'll give you support on how to do and what you need to do. And if you want to take it more than 5 minutes, we've got 15-minute guided practice sessions for free, which you can join. And so if you're interested in joining that, you want more information, just drop your email address in the chat space and I will take a picture of that. Okay, so thank you one and all. And is there anything else I need to say to you guys? Yes, I think one final thing that I'd like to share is just remind you all that with these 12 blessings prayers and the blessings themselves, you are able to contact a higher form of love. I'm just reiterating that point, which goes beyond the selfish love that we all have for our blood families, our children, parents, etc., etc. And this is the thing that the world needs more of, is this unselfish love, this higher form of love, as Mars Sector 6 says in the 9 Freedoms. And you can contact that higher form of love by doing the 12 blessings. So with that, I shall love you and leave you. God bless each and every one of you. And we'll see you real soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Namaste.